What's going on, everyone? Moose here, and today, as you can tell by the title, we're going to talk about preparedness and, in my opinion, the best starting point for anybody who wants to be prepared. And we're going to talk about that next. But before we get started talking about that, I do want to say a great big huge shout out to today's not sponsor, but kind of sponsor. So I'm just going to say sponsor, Stopbox USA. If you guys are looking for a great way to secure your firearm while you sleep, or maybe even at your desk or whatnot, this is a great alternative to just leaving your handgun on your nightstand or in your nightstand drawer. This is a mechanical box that simply, with the combination of two up here and one on the side, you could pop it open and always have access to your handgun. Just for full disclosure for YouTube, this is a trainer gun. This is not an actual firearm. It's not loaded. It's a BB gun. But it is the trainer that I like to use in my videos so that, in fact, I don't get dinged by YouTube. So if you guys want to check them out, stopboxusa.com. I've got a couple more new videos coming out. One where we totally destroy one of these to get into it. And it took much more than I really anticipated it would. But either way, check them out, stopboxusa.com. All right, so today I want to talk about survival gear, and we're going to start with this 72-hour emergency survival kit from Everlit Survival. You can check them out at everlitsurvival.com. I'll put the link in the description or in the bottom here so you guys can check them out. But let me just say that while I get the fact that all of this stuff can be pieced together, having all of this stuff in one bag is, in my opinion, paramount to being able to act quickly. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, while most people talk about prepping as end of world, how about your house is on fire? If you leave this by your front door, your way out, or you leave it in the trunk of your car, you're in a good place. I am a prepper myself, and I have a food cache. I have all these other caches. But for me, in a house fire or a tornado or a hurricane where I have to leave right away, there's no way that I have time to go through all my stuff and make a good, educated, grab of all the accessories. So in steps Everlit Survival comes up with this great kit. Thank you very much. They did send this to me. And we're going to get started. So normally I actually have a tent that sits in here, but I took it off to show you guys. So what we'll do is we'll start in the front. I'm going to show you guys everything that comes in the kit. I have taken this kit apart to examine it myself. So there are, it's not going to come exactly like it's packaged, but I am going to show you everything that comes inside. So up in the front here, we have three cut-proof gloves, or three pairs of cut-proof gloves. Now, why are these important? Because if you cut yourself, especially deeply, well, you've got a bigger problem, especially if, if the crap hit the fan, or you're in a situation where the hospitals are eating up. You don't need anybody out of commission because they went and sliced their finger because they were, making shavings for a campfire, cutting up some meat to eat for food, and the next thing you know, you're just like, oh my gosh. All right, so moving on, we have this little tactical bag here, which is cool. This is actually full of the tactical equipment that comes with this. We're just going to pull it out and then we'll talk about it. Like I said, some of this stuff I've already opened, but you are going to get a compass, and the compass does actually work. I took this out and actually checked it to say, hey, does this thing really work? And I shook it up and all that stuff. And yes, indeed, in fact, it does work. I would probably suggest also getting yourself a backup compass, one that's more geared towards mapping, but that's up to you. In here we have a, let's see if I can pop this out of there without, I just don't want to break that ferro rod. So we have a ferro rod and a piece of steel, so you can ignite a fire. I also recommend, and I'm going to tell you guys some of the things that I would add to the kit as we go along. While ferro rod is absolutely 100% great idea, I would also add a lighter and maybe some waterproof matches, just to ensure that, you make this happen. It does, in fact, come with a spring-assisted knife that says Everlit right on the side of it. It is definitely sharp, 100%. So it's nice to have a spring-assisted. It does have a glass breaker as well as a seatbelt cutter on it, or paracord cutter, whatever you want to cut. It'll kind of rip through that. And then we have this. This is a really interesting multi-tool, okay? So we have a multi-tool, and while obviously this is not the greatest of multi-tools, I will say that having this is better than having nothing. This will definitely tighten up screws, loosen up screws, cut a little bit of wire. I did cut some wire with it. It's got a little flashlight in the end, which I've never seen myself personally in a... oh, I wonder if there's a little piece of plastic in there, because it's kind of hit or miss whether it turns on or not. Okay, there we go. So, really cool little, little night light kind of flashlight. It's not going to be super bright, but it's all right. It's all right. It's good for if you want to stay low key and read a map, or look at something in the dark. So comes with that cool little multi-tool there. And then in the back pouch here, let's see, what do we got? All right. So we've got a carabiner. This looks like a pretty good carabiner. It says not for climbing on it, but carabiners are very important. And we're going to get to a part in this kit where I'm going to show you why a carabiner is very important. It does have some, it has 3 ring saws, which are cable saws. These things are awesome, awesome, awesome. Totally better than nothing. Whistle. I mean, they're loud. I don't want to blow it too loud, otherwise my dogs are going to freak out. Why are whistles important, and why 3 of them? Okay, survival situation. One thing really comes to mind. You've got yourself, your wife, your kid, if that's the 3 people that you have, and you guys are foraging for wood. It's very easy, especially here in northern Michigan, to get turned around in the woods. It's very, very easy. I've been in woods that I knew very well and just kind of, scrounging around for stuff, and then looked up and been like, I'm not really sure which way I'm supposed to be going. And that's a true statement. I really have. So why are these important? Because if in fact somebody gets turned around, or you just agree that, hey, we just want to make sure that we're in earshot of each other, you blow a whistle, somebody responds, the other person responds. You guys can draw together on each other off these whistles. So awesome idea. It's got a great little multi-tool SOS. It's got help. Oh, it's kind of neat. It shows the different stuff for signaling SOS or help. It's got screwdrivers. It's got little shaving edges on them where you could like shave on little pieces of wood and make yourself some fire starter. It's got a little serrated edge here, a can opener, a bottle opener. So you've got a can opener and a bottle opener. Cool little wedge cut there, and then obviously your bolts, and then as well as that, we've got a little piece of paracord, which can really come in handy. So you got that, and I think that's it in here. But either way, you could certainly add more stuff to this. Like there's a little pen pocket out here. I would highly recommend like a Sharpie marker, something that, you can definitely write notes with. There's a bigger pouch here in the front where you could put maybe even another multi-tool, you name it. It's your bag. You can do what you want with it. Up in the front here is my Cat 7 tourniquet that does come with the kit. Man, if you do not have a tourniquet and you don't have multiple tourniquets, you're going to regret it. All right, so let's see. In here we have 3 pairs of goggles. Keep the stuff out of your eyes. Goggles are important, and people go, why in the frick would I want goggles? Why would I want goggles? Okay, a couple of different things. If you're in the desert area and a windstorm pops up, this is definitely going to keep the dust out of your eyes. If you're in a snowstorm, this will keep stuff out of your eyes. If you are in a smoky environment, this will keep smoke out of your eyes. The worst thing, don't get me wrong. You should have a respirator anyway, as I do as well. But if you are incapacitated by the situation that you're in, you are worthless to yourself as well as any others that you might be trying to protect or work with, right? Your family. So great idea to have stuff like that. In this bag, we have 3 emergency ponchos and 3 emergency thermal blankets. These things are, listen, I get it. And I was skeptical once too when I looked at emergency blankets. And I thought, come on, man. How can that little thing, you'd be really freaking surprised. They are super warm. Another great kit feature is 3 emergency two-man tents. So there's 3 of these total, right? So, especially if it's like you, your wife, and your kid's younger, you can get 3 people in these. Absolutely. So you guys hunkering together to maintain your body warmth, especially in a colder climate, is great. Reflective in case you're in hotter climates. But either way, 8 foot by 5 foot. You got 20 feet of cord included, and windproof and waterproof. Man, I'm telling you, you can't go wrong. So here's where the carabiner comes in. So here's your paracord that comes with this. Here's your carabiner, right? You can utilize this carabiner as a point of, I guess like for like a pulley area, right? So that way you're not rubbing the paracord on something that could potentially damage it. You can actually make a lot of different things out of that. There's a lot of guys out there that talk way more in depth than this stuff and know way more than I do when it comes to this stuff. And I highly recommend that you educate yourself on those kinds of things. I'm working on it, but right now I still follow the leader. We've got 3 days of emergency food rations that come with this. This is all made here in the USA. This is good. It was made 6 of 23 and is good until 6 of 28. I would be willing to bet, as vacuum sealed as this is, it would probably be good after that. Granted, this is 18 servings. Each serving contains 200 calories. It's got 26 grams of carbohydrates per serving. It's got sugars and 2.5 grams of protein. Obviously, there's saturated fat in there as well. It's not necessarily that this stuff is, it's so yummy. But I'd rather have this than absolutely nothing, as I'm sure that you would too. So here's another thing that I would add to this is I would add a box of protein bars. Get with your family, figure out what protein bar everybody can deal with, and then go out and get yourself a complete box of protein bars. Throw it in this kit, because now you've got not only these little bars here, but you've also got your favorite protein bars, granola bars, whatever you guys like. Throw them in there. This bag's already heavy because it's got water in it anyway. Just, it is what it is. All right, so we're going to get to this here in a second. I'm going to open this back up here and show you guys. It comes with a plethora of glow sticks. These glow sticks, and I'll explain in a minute, are great little tools for inside your emergency shelter, or even marking your path, right? If you are in a situation where you have to go down to the water or whatever, or you have to walk down a trail or whatever, these are great to mark your path. I would even suggest maybe even getting a few extras. It does come, I did take these out of their original bag, but it comes with a boatload of these water. These are individual water packets. I've got 2 bags of them down in here. Like I said, I took them out of their original bag, put them in these Ziplocs, just to have them, I don't know, a little bit differently packed. But these are also good until 2028. So this pack comes in right at $199. So it's so worth the money to know that here's my bag, right? This is my, it's time to go, right? Before we open up the first aid, I do want to say also that this is another thing that I add to all of my kits. And you can have these, these little hand warmers for relatively cheaply. You can buy them in the case. They stay good forever. I would highly recommend throwing a bunch of those in there, especially if you're in a colder climate, because if in fact you cannot start a fire, you'd be surprised, right? Your feet, your hands, maybe a couple on your chest area or whatnot, or around your neck, is going to make a world of difference. If your feet are cold, you are cold. If your hands are cold, you're cold. And the last thing you want to do is be cold without having a way to heat up. So I would highly recommend a bunch of these things in there. All right, moving on. I'm going to move this food over here. Actually, I'm going to put it right back in the bag itself. We're going to zip this side up and this side up. All right. We're going to zip this up just for aesthetics, just because it's a beautiful bag. Super well built, good quality. Got all kinds of fasteners. And actually, before we get on that, we'll go back to this. Lots and lots of MOLLE and all kinds of different places to put things. I actually tested this system out right here on the side with my pistol grip shotgun, and it actually slides right in there. Cool, right? Now you got a shotgun to go with you in case you got to do whatever. Back in here, there's a big deep pocket that you could put whatever you want in. It's got breathable mesh in the back. It's got a chest clip. It's got a waist clip, fully adjustable. Like I said, just an overall very quality built piece of equipment. I had a company not too long ago send me another, what they called was a survival kit. And it was so cheaply made that I kid you not, I went to zip the zipper up and one of the seams popped and ripped right open. I didn't even review it. It's a true story. So anyway, here's your first aid kit, clearly marked with a, first aid little button there. And this has got some great stuff in it. I have taken this all apart again as well. We've got dressings here that are 40 by 60 centimeters. We've got some absorbent cotton balls. Now, why are these things important? Okay, lots of different reasons, but get yourself a jar, a small jar of Vaseline. Okay, put it in your kit, put some cotton balls in there, because if you take cotton balls and roll them around in the Vaseline and get them nice and saturated, and you hit them with this ferro rod, they will burn for a very, very long time. Pro tip for you guys out there. Cotton balls, Vaseline, ferro rod, they light and they stay lit, and they do very, very well. Okay, so you talk about getting a fire started. We've got some drinking water germicidal tablets, which brings me to another point. Great idea that they have the little packets of water. I would super advise you, beyond any other matter, to go get yourself a couple of big Smart Waters or whatever bottle you normally drink, but the big ones. And I would put a couple of them in here as well. 3 of them, maybe 4. Put them in this pack as well. Because why? Because of these. Because everybody, especially the majority of the country, and as my good buddy Matt over at RTT said the other day on his video, is the majority of the country has access to water. You know, where he lives in Arizona, it's a little bit different. But here in northern Michigan, or here in Michigan, I can't walk. I mean, I can't drive 5-10 minutes down the road without finding running water or a lake or a pond or a stream or something. So you need a way to disinfect the water, but you also need a way to capture the water and to maintain it. Okay, so pro tip number 2 of this, put 4 bottles of Smart Water, the big ones, in your bag, or Fiji, or whatever you want. I don't care. Just make sure you do that. We've got some, looks like some elastic gauze. Let's see what's down in here. We have another glow stick, okay? This is a longer lasting glow stick. Okay, these ones that came in here were not these 12-hour sticks. These are probably going to be closer to 4 hours, maybe 6. But this one is a 12-hour light. If you're going to add more, pay the extra money, get yourself the longer burning ones. It only takes one of these to illuminate the inside of one of your emergency shelters, or if you carry a tent like I do, you can hang this in the middle, and at least everybody at night can look at each other and not be scared out of their minds, especially your kids, your wife, whoever. So let's see, coming back into here, we've got alcohol pads, we've got antiseptic wipes, we have adhesive eye patches. Not a bad idea at all, as well as a couple of other adhesive bandages. In here, it looks like this is all bandages. So we've got bigger bandages, like Band-Aids. We got smaller Band-Aids, stuff like that. We've got a thing of Q-tips. These are great. Cleaning out stuff, getting dirt out of the corner of your eye. If if somebody gets something in their eye, you can actually use these to gently remove that. We've got a pair of emergency shears. These things are invaluable, even if you had to cut your beard. We've got an ace bandage. We've got, let's see here, triangular bandages, right? For making, arm splints or head bandages, you name it. It actually comes with what looks like, it might be 1, it might be 2. Nope, one more emergency blanket. So we've got 4 emergency blankets total. And then in here we have a bunch of different small tools. We have some examination gloves. Let's see, because I don't know what this is, and I want to open this up and see what this is. To be honest, I don't know. It definitely looks like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, we've got a CPR mask. I think that these... Oh. Okay. I don't know, but I'm guessing that they have something to do with tourniquet, and I'm not sure. But I am going to reach out and find out. And I'd be willing to bet that if I look this kit up, it'll tell me what these are. And somebody, if you guys know what these are, look at those. Tell me what they are in the description down below, because I honestly don't know. It does come with some safety pins. Dude, you can't ever go wrong having safety pins. It's going to come with a couple of different small rolls of medical tape. I would probably recommend going and getting another one. Does come with a pair of tweezers. Yeah, it's all fun and games till you get a splinter. And then there's also another whistle. Oh, wow, that one's a little loud. Oh, nice. So it does come with another whistle. And then, like I said, some examination gloves. Now, there's plenty of room in here to add a few other things, and I would highly recommend that. So next pro tip, get yourself a bottle of Motrin, get yourself a bottle of Tylenol, and get yourself a bottle of aspirin and put them in there. Just smart thinking, right? Get yourself a little bit of Neosporin. You know, stuff like that. Don't be afraid. Listen, these guys that manufacture these, they know that this is the basic stuff. They know that, right? This is the absolute basic stuff that's going to get you through. That's absolutely, could you survive on this? Yes. Is there other things that you should prep for? Yes, that's why they make these bags so big. You know, when this bag comes, this front pouch and this front pouch have nothing in them. Everything is in the back pouches. So, you know, you can take this and molly strap it to the outside here so that your first aid kit's out of the inside, and then utilize that space for something else. So there you have it, the Everlit Survival. This is their emergency kit for earthquakes, hurricanes, and other disasters. And I'm going to tell you, thanks again to Everlit for sending this out. I love this thing. It makes me and my family just feel that much safer. You know, honestly, you know, just like I said, you know, I mean, there's so much availability to put things onto this bag and to carry it and move with it. You know, it's absolutely just a great backpack. So with that being said, if you guys want to check them out, definitely check them out. And in the notes, if they have it, say, hey, man, Moose told me to come check these things out, and let them know that I sent you over there. I do not have an affiliate code. I don't make any money if you buy one or don't buy one. But I can tell you that out of all the ones that I've done so far, this is by far the best quality that I've ran into yet. It really, truly is. So... Anyway, with that being said, be good to each other, and God bless.